Emotional update. Kelly and Mark Consuelos face a challenging moment together. Fans were left deeply concerned after a recent emotional moment involving Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos captured public attention. The longtime TV power couple, known for their playful chemistry and unshakable bond, appeared more serious than ever as they opened up about a difficult phase in their lives. During a recent appearance, Kelly's voice noticeably changed as she spoke, and viewers immediately sensed something was different. While she didn't go into specific details, her emotional tone said enough. Mark stayed close by her side, offering quiet support that spoke louder than words. The moment quickly spread across social media, with fans expressing worry and sending messages of encouragement. Sources close to the couple say this period has tested them emotionally, but it has also brought them closer together. Rather than stepping back from the spotlight, Kelly and Mark chose honesty, acknowledging that even strong relationships face heavy moments behind the scenes. Kelly hinted that the pressure of balancing work, family, and personal challenges can sometimes feel overwhelming. "We don't always have it together," she admitted, a statement that resonated with countless viewers who see the couple as a symbol of stability and love. Mark, known for his calm and steady presence, reassured fans without dramatizing the situation. His focus remained on gratitude, reminding everyone that support from family, friends, and fans makes a difference during hard times. The couple did not ask for sympathy, but their openness sparked an outpouring of love online. Comments flooded in praising their honesty and strength, with many fans saying they felt more connected to Kelly and Mark than ever before. Despite the emotional weight of the moment, one thing was clear: Kelly and Mark are facing this challenge together. Their shared looks, gentle gestures, and quiet reassurance showed a partnership built on trust and resilience. While questions remain, fans are hopeful. Kelly ended the segment with a small smile, thanking viewers for their kindness and understanding. It was a reminder that even in uncertain moments, hope and unity can shine through. As supporters continue to rally behind them, one message stands out: Kelly and Mark are not alone, and their journey, whatever it brings, will be met with unwavering support from those who admire them most. As the days passed after that emotional moment, fans continued to notice subtle changes in Kelly and Mark's on-air presence. Their usual lighthearted banter was still there, but it carried a quieter tone, more thoughtful, more measured. Viewers sensed that something meaningful was unfolding behind the scenes, even if every detail wasn't being shared. Insiders say this period has encouraged the couple to slow down and focus on what truly matters. Between demanding schedules and constant public attention, Kelly and Mark have always made room for each other, but this moment reminded them just how important that commitment is. Simple routines, shared meals, quiet conversations, time away from cameras have taken on deeper meaning. Kelly later hinted that vulnerability doesn't come easily, especially when millions are watching. She acknowledged that opening up, even just a little, felt risky, but also necessary. "You can't pretend everything is perfect all the time," she said, a message that resonated strongly with viewers who appreciated her honesty. Mark's support never wavered. Whether through a reassuring glance or a gentle touch, he remained a steady presence, grounding the moment when emotions ran high. Fans praised him for showing strength without overshadowing Kelly's voice, proving once again why their partnership feels so genuine. Social media continued buzzing with supportive messages. Many fans shared their own stories of facing difficult seasons with loved ones, saying Kelly and Mark's openness made them feel seen and understood. What began as concern slowly turned into admiration for how the couple handled the situation with grace. Behind the scenes, colleagues reportedly rallied around them as well. Friends and co-workers offered encouragement, reminding Kelly and Mark that they're surrounded by people who care deeply about them, not just as public figures, but as individuals. While the couple hasn't revealed what comes next, there's a growing sense of calm replacing the initial shock. Kelly's smile has returned more often, and Mark's relaxed demeanor suggests quiet confidence. Together, they appear focused on moving forward, step by step, moment by moment. For fans, the takeaway is clear.
Even the strongest, most admired couples face challenging chapters. What matters most is how they face them, together, honestly, and with resilience. And as Kelly and Mark continue this journey, one thing remains certain. Their bond, tested but unbroken, continues to inspire those who have followed them for years.
Kelly and Mark began sharing small but meaningful reflections that hinted at growth during this challenging season. Rather than offering dramatic explanations, they focused on perspective, acknowledging that life's unexpected moments often arrive when least expected. Kelly spoke about learning to sit with uncertainty instead of fighting it. She admitted that being open in front of an audience felt uncomfortable, but she also recognized how powerful it can be to show up honestly. Viewers noticed a deeper sincerity in her words, as if each sentence carried personal weight. Mark, meanwhile, emphasized patience. He reminded listeners that not every challenge needs an immediate answer, and that sometimes the strongest response is simply staying present. His calm approach seemed to balance the emotional intensity of the moment, offering reassurance without minimizing what they were facing. Fans picked up on these subtle shifts. Many commented that the couple felt more relatable than ever, less like untouchable celebrities, and more like two people navigating a complicated chapter together. Messages of encouragement continued to pour in, with supporters applauding their strength and authenticity. Behind the cameras, those close to Kelly say she has leaned into quiet moments of reflection, whether taking walks, unplugging from social media, or spending uninterrupted time with family. She appears more intentional about protecting her emotional space. Mark has been right there alongside her, reinforcing the idea that partnership means showing up in both visible and unseen ways. The couple's shared history has also played a role in grounding them. Years of working together, raising a family, and weathering life's ups and downs have built a foundation that remains strong even under pressure. This chapter, while difficult, seems to be reminding them of how far they've come. As the initial wave of concern slowly settled, fans began expressing a different emotion: hope. Hope that whatever challenge lies ahead, Kelly and Mark will continue to face it with honesty, unity, and resilience. Their story has become less about shock and more about strength. Though many details remain private, the message they've shared speaks loudly. It's okay to acknowledge hard moments, and it's okay to lean on others during them. In doing so, Kelly and Mark have turned a difficult time into a moment of connection with their audience. And as this chapter continues to unfold, one thing remains clear: this is not a story of breaking apart, but of holding on, together. As time went on, those closest to Kelly and Mark began to notice a quiet transformation. What once felt like an overwhelming weight slowly shifted into something more reflective. The couple wasn't rushing to explain or resolve everything publicly. Instead, they were choosing intention over noise. Kelly shared that this experience has changed how she views strength. Rather than pushing through with a smile, she's learning that strength can also mean pausing, listening, and allowing space for difficult emotions. Her words resonated deeply with viewers who often feel pressure to appear okay even when they're not. Mark continued to be a steady anchor. Friends say he encouraged open conversations at home, creating an environment where feelings could be shared without judgment. His presence reminded Kelly and fans that support doesn't always come in grand gestures, but in consistency and quiet understanding. Viewers began noticing moments of tenderness on air, longer glances, gentle humor, and shared smiles that felt more meaningful than before. These subtle interactions spoke volumes, suggesting that whatever they were facing had strengthened their connection rather than weakened it. Meanwhile, fan support evolved from concern into loyalty. Comment sections filled with messages about perseverance, love, and resilience. Many fans said they felt inspired to check in on their own loved ones, proving that Kelly and Mark's openness had a ripple effect far beyond television. Behind the cameras, colleagues reportedly stepped in to lighten the load, offering flexibility and encouragement. This sense of community gave Kelly the breathing room she needed to regain emotional balance, while Mark remained focused on maintaining normalcy and gratitude.
Though uncertainty still lingers, there's a sense of forward motion. Kelly has started speaking with more clarity, and Mark's calm confidence suggests they're finding their footing again. They aren't claiming everything is perfect, but they are choosing hope. This chapter has quietly reshaped how fans see them, not just as entertainers or a power couple, but as two people committed to showing up for each other during an unsteady time. And as this story continues to unfold, one thing remains firm. Whatever comes next, Kelly and Mark are facing it side by side, stronger, more connected, and deeply supported by those who believe in them.
Kelly and Mark began to show signs of quiet renewal. While the uncertainty hadn't completely disappeared, there was a noticeable shift in energy. Less heaviness, more intention. Fans picked up on it immediately, sensing that the couple was entering a new phase of understanding rather than simply enduring a difficult moment. Kelly reflected on how this experience forced her to slow down in ways she never had before. She admitted that being constantly busy had once felt like protection, but stepping back revealed how much strength comes from stillness. That realization, she shared, helped her reconnect not only with Mark, but with herself. Mark spoke about trust in time, in communication, and in the bond they've built over the years. He emphasized that challenges don't always arrive to break people apart. Sometimes they come to realign priorities. His words carried a quiet confidence that reassured fans who had been worried from the start. On air, their conversations felt more grounded. Laughter returned, but it was softer, warmer, less about performance and more about connection. Viewers noticed that even light moments carried emotional depth, as if each smile was earned rather than automatic. Support from fans remained unwavering. Many wrote that watching Kelly and Mark navigate this chapter had encouraged them to approach their own struggles with more honesty and patience. What began as concern had evolved into inspiration, turning the couple's story into something deeply relatable. Behind closed doors, those close to them say the couple leaned into gratitude. Small victories, quiet mornings, shared dinners, uninterrupted conversations became reminders that progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it simply feels steady. Though questions still linger, there's a growing sense of peace. Kelly appears more centered, and Mark's steady presence continues to ground them both. They aren't rushing toward answers or announcements, only forward, together. This chapter hasn't defined them by struggle, but by resilience. And as fans continue to watch, one message becomes clearer with each passing day. Even in uncertainty, connection can grow stronger. Their journey is still unfolding, but one thing is certain. Kelly and Mark are no longer just getting through this moment, they are growing through it. Gradually, a new sense of balance began to emerge in Kelly and Mark's lives. It wasn't sudden or dramatic, but it was real. The uncertainty that once felt overwhelming started to feel manageable, replaced by a quiet confidence that they could handle whatever came next, together. Kelly shared that this chapter taught her the value of grace, especially towards herself. She admitted that for years she believed she had to be strong at all times, but this moment showed her that strength can also mean asking for understanding. That realization brought a visible calm to her presence, one fans hadn't seen in a while. Mark echoed that sentiment, speaking about how challenges can deepen connection when faced with honesty. He emphasized that standing beside someone doesn't always require words. Sometimes it's simply about being there day after day. His steady reassurance became a grounding force, not just for Kelly, but for viewers watching closely. Fans noticed that the couple seemed more in sync than ever. Their exchanges carried a sense of trust built through shared experience, and even the simplest moments felt meaningful. It was clear that this period, though difficult, had strengthened their bond rather than shaken it. Messages from supporters continued to pour in, but now they carried a different tone, less worry, more admiration. Many fans said Kelly and Mark's journey reminded them that even long-standing relationships need care, patience, and space to grow. Behind the scenes, the couple remained focused on forward motion, choosing positivity without denying reality.
They didn't frame this moment as an ending, but as a transition, one that reshaped their priorities and renewed their sense of purpose. As Kelly closed one recent segment, her words lingered with viewers. She thanked everyone for their kindness and understanding, reminding fans that life doesn't always follow a script, but support can make all the difference. And as this chapter continues to unfold, one truth stands firm. Kelly and Mark are moving ahead with clarity, unity, and quiet strength, proving that even the toughest moments can lead to deeper
passing
connection.
day, Kelly and Mark seem to embrace a quieter kind of confidence. The urgency that once surrounded them had softened, replaced by intention and care. Rather than rushing to define what they were going through, they allowed the moment to unfold naturally, one honest conversation at a time. Kelly spoke about rediscovering joy in unexpected places. She mentioned how laughter felt different now, less automatic but more meaningful. Small moments, like shared jokes or comfortable silence, reminded her that connection doesn't disappear during hard times. It simply changes shape. Mark reflected on perspective, noting that long journeys are built from countless small steps. He shared that standing together through uncertainty had reminded him why their partnership has endured for so long. His calm reassurance carried a quiet strength that resonated deeply with fans. On screen, viewers noticed a renewed warmth between them. Their interactions felt unfiltered, almost intimate, as if the cameras had faded into the background. These moments sparked admiration, with many fans saying they felt privileged to witness such authenticity. Support continued to surround them, not just from longtime followers, but from people who saw themselves reflected in the couple's experience. Messages poured in about patience, empathy, and the importance of showing up even when answers aren't clear. Behind the scenes, Kelly and Mark reportedly made intentional choices to protect their peace. They simplified schedules where possible and prioritized moments that brought grounding and clarity. This shift allowed them to reconnect with what mattered most, away from expectations and outside noise. Though the future still holds unknowns, there's a steady sense of readiness. Kelly appears more grounded, Mark more assured, and together they seem aligned in a way that only shared experience can create. This chapter hasn't been about spectacle or headlines. It's been about resilience, growth, and choosing togetherness in the face of uncertainty. And as their story continues, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Kelly and Mark are not defined by the challenge they faced, but by the way they faced it, hand in hand with honesty, patience, and unwavering support. As this season unfolded, Kelly and Mark began to speak less about what was wrong and more about what was being learned. The shift was subtle but powerful. Instead of focusing on uncertainty, they leaned into understanding, acknowledging that some chapters are meant to slow us down so we can truly listen. Kelly shared that this moment changed how she approaches connection. She spoke about choosing presence over perfection, admitting that letting go of control wasn't easy. Yet, in doing so, she found comfort, not just in Mark's support, but in the shared strength they've built over years of partnership. Mark, ever steady, reflected on commitment in its truest form. He emphasized that standing beside someone through quiet struggles matters just as much as celebrating visible successes. His words carried reassurance, reminding fans that love often shows itself in the calm, unspoken moments. Audiences noticed that the couple's energy felt lighter, even when conversations turned serious. There was a sense of mutual respect and patience that made each exchange feel genuine. Their connection no longer needed explanation, it was simply felt. Fan reactions continued to evolve. What began as concern transformed into admiration, with many expressing gratitude for the couple's honesty. Viewers said watching Kelly and Mark navigate this chapter encouraged them to approach their own challenges with more compassion and openness. Behind the scenes, those close to the couple say this period strengthened their sense of teamwork. Decisions were made together, priorities revisited, and boundaries respected. It wasn't about fixing everything at once, but about moving forward thoughtfully.
Though unanswered questions remain, there's no longer a sense of fear, only readiness. Kelly appears grounded and reflective, while Mark's quiet confidence suggests trust in what lies ahead. This chapter isn't about an ending, it's about transformation, a reminder that even the most admired partnerships grow stronger not by avoiding hardship, but by facing it with honesty and unity. And as their story continues, one truth stands firm. Kelly and Mark are moving forward, not because the path is clear, but because they are walking it together.